Black woman invents GPS system. All right, let's get into this. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't know how to read a map? That's okay. We have GPS. Ever wonder how GPS came to be? The National Inventors Hall of Fame credits 3 men with creating the technology. But they got it wrong.
Starting route to Inventors Hall of Fame.
We wouldn't have GPS without a woman, Gladys Mae West. So why was her name left out of the story for more than 30 years? In today's lesson, we uncover another story, another achievement, another woman who deserves her rightful place in the history books.
Yeah, she does deserve her place in the history books, but I would like to put on top of just being a woman, a melanated woman. All right. A lot of women don't get their praise, but melanated women, especially, but melanated people, uh, overall don't get their just due for what they have helped and done for this country. So I would like to put a melanated woman.
GPS, Global Positioning System, an invention that changed the world. You use it every day. Your phone, your car, even planes and rockets depend on it. The National Inventors Hall of Fame credits 3 men with creating the technology. But actually, the foundation for GPS wasn't built by any of them. The person who did, Gladys Mae West. And if it wasn't for a college alumni event and some fiercely loyal sorority sisters, she may never have received the credit she deserved. Gladys was born in 1930, the daughter of sharecroppers raised on a small farm where she picked corn, cotton, and tobacco. But even as a child, she dreamt of more.
I told myself that I did not like being out in the sun and working from sunrise to sunset and all that. So I made good grades in all of my subjects.
So she worked relentlessly, graduated valedictorian of her high school, and earned a full scholarship to Virginia State College. Something almost unheard of for a Black woman in the segregated South. And that scholarship would set her on a path from a farm in Sutherland, Virginia, to a government lab where she would create a map of the earth so groundbreaking, it would change the way we navigate the world.
That's pretty crazy that she made a map that did that, you know. Just showing the brilliance of the melanated people once we really decide to do something and put our mind to it. I believe most people have that, but it's something with the melanated people when they decide to do something, boy, they go all out. I mean, all of us do, but I hope y'all get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
It took until 1956 for Gladys to finally land the government position she had dreamed of, at the Naval Weapons Lab. Her role started like most women mathematicians of her time, doing endless calculations by hand. Just like Katherine Johnson over at NASA, she was a human computer. But then came a turning point. The lab installed one of the most powerful computers of the era, the Naval Ordnance Research Calculator. Gladys quickly mastered the machine. Her first assignment? Chart the motion of Pluto in relation to Neptune. That required 5 billion arithmetic calculations.
Why do they want to know stuff like that? I mean, you know, is it for something else more? I don't know, more for them in the long run, or is it for the people? You always wonder, like, why do they want to know that stuff? But to be honest, I believe we should be trying to learn as much as we can from this earth and become as educated and become as intelligent and just be as curious as possible in this world. Because with all the things that we do know, it's still probably way more things that we don't know. So I just want to know why they wanted to do that, though.
100 hours of nonstop computer time. And Gladys programmed every step. Her next project, tracking satellite orbits. Remember, this was the 1960s. The space race was on. America was desperate not to fall behind the Soviet Union. And there was Gladys, crunching the math that satellites and the future would depend on.
My part in the global positioning system would be working more with the orbit over the water. A lot goes into the scientific computation to generate an orbit, which is a database used in GPS.
By the late 1970s, Gladys's focus shifted from space to Earth. In 1978, NASA launched the first Earth-orbiting satellite designed to study the oceans. Gladys was put in charge. Her mission? Use the satellite's data to measure ocean depths, to then create highly accurate computer simulations of the Earth's entire surface. The results were astonishing. Gladys and her team built one of the most accurate simulations of the planet ever created. A decade later, 1986, Gladys published a guide showing her data could do something even more than simulate the ocean floor. They could calculate a geoid. A geoid is a mathematical model of the Earth's shape. Not a perfect sphere, but the real lumpy, tilted, gravity-warped Earth. Her algorithms took into account tidal forces, gravitational pulls, and even tiny distortions across the globe. The result? A model of the Earth so precise, it was unlike anything previously produced. It became the essential building block of the modern GPS satellite orbit. So every time your phone reroutes you around traffic, it's leaning on the math that Gladys Mae West once ran through a military computer in the 1980s.
In the 1980s, melanated people doing such great things, you know. For the U.S. government, though, you know. Wonder why the U.S. government didn't give her a day or really bring her name out there, because as we see in the beginning, only 3 lighter pigmented men got any credit for it. But it's her research before the computer. Then once they got the computer, it was even, she was able to do even more, right? So she didn't get the credit for her work though until she's passed away. Now people want to talk about it. And that's just pretty much the government for you in a whole when it comes to the darker pigmented person. But let's continue.
Here's where Gladys's story takes a turn for the worse. As time went on, it seemed like credit for the global positioning system went to anyone but Gladys. In 2002, the Hall of Fame inducted Ivan Getting, a physicist who championed the concept of satellite navigation, and Bradford Parkinson, an Air Force colonel often called the father of GPS. Then, in 2010, they added Roger Easton, who developed GPS satellite timing and tracking concepts. All 3 men made real contributions to modern GPS technology, but they were all building on Gladys's foundation.
Foundational Black America. For you people that like to call yourselves foundational Black Americans, I guess there you go. Miss Gladys West is a foundational Black. Of course, she's a person from the melanated land. I mean, a melanated person from the indigenous lands of the so-called today America. And I'm just messing with y'all FBAs, man. I know y'all like to call yourselves that. She keeps repeating that. This pretty beautiful lighter pigmented woman keeps repeating that. So give a shout to the people that like to call themselves FBA.
It was her Earth model that made the entire system possible. Then, everything changed. In 2017, Gladys submitted a short biography for an alumni event to her college sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha. In it, she casually mentioned her role in developing GPS. Her sorority sisters were floored. They immediately contacted the Associated Press. Never underestimate the power of sisterhood. By 2018, the AP had published her story. The US military officially called her a hidden figure of GPS. She was inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame, where she was recognized for building, quote, what ultimately became the Global Positioning System orbit. And finally, after decades in obscurity, Gladys Mae West was recognized as one of the essential minds behind the system guiding the modern world. But the National Inventors Hall of Fame? Well, Gladys is still waiting for the credit she deserves.
Which is very sad. Which is extremely sad. All she can hope for is recognition at this point. Not even a piece of the pie that she helped bake. You know, so it's pretty sad, man. And shout out to those women who helped, you know, get her story out there. But what can we do to get, well, she's passed away now, so what could we have done to get her some money, you know, for laying the foundation for what everybody uses today for the most part, you know.
Today, the world uses GPS for everything. Calling a rideshare, tracking a delivery, navigating a battlefield, even swiping on dating apps. Or literally driving anywhere in my car.
I never would have thought that I could sit in a car and, you know, it says, turn left, turn right. No.
Every single one of those pins drop on Gladys Mae West's map. And yet for most of her life, her name was erased from the narrative. So next time your phone says, you've arrived at your destination, remember the woman who mapped the world so precisely the satellites could follow. Thank you, Gladys Mae West, for defying every barrier and proving that one woman's intellect could guide the whole world.
Well, thank you, Gladys Mae West.
History.
Thank you, Gladys Mae West, and may you rest in peace, and may your name continue to get recognized for helping everybody and all of us who are here today. You know, so with that being said, I commend you, much respect to you, and I love you for the things that you have helped us do in this world today that you did 50, 60, 70 years ago. And with that being said, shout out to my Williams, we out.